Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Stone Cottage Studios. It's a pleasure to have Luke Bulla here in the studio with us today. How are you doing?
Great. Good to be here with you.
Man, we'll get into more questions in the interview, but it's, just so cool to have you into the studio, and I really look forward to hearing your music. Do you want to share anything about what you're going to be playing for us today?
Yeah, these three songs that I'm going to do for you are two of them are co-writes, and one of them is a solo write. I just did that by myself, and a couple of them I got to write with some of my songwriting heroes. You know, Glenn Phillips is one, and Guy Clark and John Randall Stewart the other. And but yeah, songs I've been working on for a long time, and but I hope you enjoy them.
Amazing. Yes, thank you for being here, and thank you for everyone for tuning in. And be sure to stay after for the interview.
This is a song that I got to write with Glenn Phillips of Toad the Wet Sprocket. Wrote this back in like 2007, and it was really fun. I was playing with Sean and Sarah Watkins and Glenn a lot. I was flying out to California from Nashville, and we played, it was part of the Watkins Family Hour thing. We did a lot of that stuff out there. And we ended up forming a band called Works Progress Administration and recorded this song on as well as a couple others on that record. It's called Who's Gonna Cry For You. I think maybe Glenn was going through a breakup when we wrote this one. What happens when you go? Who's gonna cry for you? What happens when you go? Who's gonna cry for you? Who's gonna cry for you? Strike blood upon your door. They're gonna come for you. Clean the blood up from the floor. He's gonna come for you. Who's gonna cry for you? Every demon was an angel discarded, cast from heaven. I need you, but I can't forgive you. Yeah. All your acres and your gold, who's gonna cry for you? You welcome to the cold. Who'd ever want to hold you? But who's gonna cry for you? Who will love you when you're old? Who's gonna cry for you? Lies to save him that you told. Who's gonna love for you? Oh, you demon, I can't forgive you. Angel, if you don't know what you've done, if you don't know what you've done, how I pity you. If you can't hold your head up, then don't hold your heart up. And if you can't if you can't hold your head up, then don't hold your heart up. Ooh. Who's gonna cry for you? Waiting by the stair, the years have caught up with her. Oh God, it's cold down there. If only she could see the light this late December night. Once I asked her name, and I could see her searching. No words her eyes explain. If she could, she would tell, but she don't remember well. We wear our wounds for all to see, the reasons for our memories, or what happens when they go. Are they healed or are they bleeding slow? She can see so clear the changing world around her, but the passing of the years has faded with the failing light this late December night. We wear our wounds for all to see, the reasons for our memories, or what happened when they go. Are they healed or are they bleeding slow? We wear our wounds for all to see, the reasons for our memories, or what happened when they go. Are they healed or are they bleeding slow? This is an original tune I wrote with Guy Clark and John Randall Stewart. I make my living playing fiddle, well, I play it every night. Tell the truth, I'd fiddle if I didn't make a dime. And I sure like good liquor, it makes me wanna play. The funny thing about the fiddle is it makes you wanna drink. True story. For a shot of homemade whiskey and $100 bill, I'll burn the hair right off of this bow and play the temperance reel. Well, I play one for the ladies, so sweet they swoon and sway. I play one for those I've left and the one that got away. Well, I played it in the mountains and out on the western plains. I play it for my brother who I'll never see again. Play it high, play it lonesome like a mountain whippoorwill. Let's burn the rosin off of this bowl and play the temperance reel. Well, if drinking and dancing is an awful, dreadful sin, then I know where I'm going, sure as I know where I've been. This old fiddle bit me on the leg when I was 6 years old. I guess I'm gonna play it till the devil gets my soul. Well, I could play it all night long and never get my fill. Let's lay that rhythm down, boys, and play the temperance reel.
Well, Luke, that was something special.
Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
It really was. It's whenever someone's playing a fiddle tune like that, and you wrote that one, obviously, like you said.
Yeah, well, the lyrics, we wrote the lyrics around, it's based on an old famous fiddle tune. It's an old traditional tune called Temperance Reel. But yeah, we took some liberties and wrote some lyrics kind of around it.
Yeah, even behind the camera, I can't stop myself from, like thumping my foot and just like having a smile on my face.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it seems to do that.
Yeah, fiddle's pretty good for that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So what did you start off with? Was it guitar, fiddle first? And kind of what was your start in music?
Yeah, I was born into a musical family, and my father's from North Carolina originally, and so he was, as a teenager, introduced to bluegrass and banjo and acoustic guitar playing, and then he moved out west and met my mom, and they started a band. They wanted to play music, so they started a band, and I was just kind of born into it. I started singing on stage when I was 4 and started playing fiddle when I was 7, and toured full time with the family band for years and years. That's all we did. It was our family business, and that was our income, and we were homeschooled and all that. But music was such a huge part of everything. It was in and a part of everything we did. And was what we did. Like half the year we would leave. We had these several tour buses and stuff. We would leave home about the end of May and stay gone till the end of October, touring and playing at fairs and festivals and all that kind of thing, all bluegrass festivals, stuff like that.
That's such a unique experience to grow up as a kid being shown a world like that. Yeah. I can kind of relate. My dad has been taking me to up north of us from Boulder and Lyons is Rocky Grass. And I would go to the kids camp since I was like 4 years old. And it really is, I don't know, just something so wholesome and special and grounding about folk and bluegrass music, and really just the community of that, because it's so community oriented, and it's all about these songs that we don't even know who wrote them necessarily, how far they go back.
Right.
I just think that's so special.
It is really special. You're exactly right. The oral tradition, the handing these tunes down, passing these tunes down from one generation to the next, and from, that's how I learned them, was just sitting like, scroll to scroll with one of my heroes or mentors, if I was lucky enough, and them teaching me those tunes. And yeah, some of them are just, they're so old. I mean, a lot of them I think probably come from over yonder, Scotland and Ireland and whatever. But there's some of these traditional tunes that, they must go back, several, maybe even a couple hundred years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. So starting with that background and then transitioning into making and writing your own music, what does that process look like for you?
Well, I mean, I've been so fortunate in that I took to fiddle at a young age and did really well with it at a young age. And I entered the National Fiddle Contest in Weiser, Idaho, and every year for, 11 or 12 years or something. It was really fun and something I looked forward to, and it was really inspiring to me. And so I worked hard for it and did well, and that got me introduced to some people like Ricky Skaggs and Bobby Hicks, and they were pretty encouraging and insistent that I should move to Nashville. Like when they met me when I was a kid, a teenager, and I right then I knew I wanted to go check it out and go be a part of that whole thing. And it took me until I was 19 to plan and make my escape from the family band. And then I moved down to Nashville, and that was my first job. I was playing with Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder.
Wow.
And since then, that opened up so many doors for me to get to pretty much do whatever I wanted. I had all kinds of job offers come in, and I've got to play with everybody from, Tony Rice and Earl Scruggs to Brandy Carlisle, and just the whole gamut of amazing Jackson Brown and Fiona Apple, and just all kinds of heroes that I never would have imagined as a fiddle player I'd get to interact with, much less get to play with and record with and things like that. So that kind of having that experience out of like the growing out of the sideman thing out of Nashville, and then kind of realizing, well, I want to do more than just be a sideman. I want to, I have these things to write, and I love to sing. I've always loved to sing, and singing was what I did first before I started playing fiddle. So that's always been a part of the thing, but it has been difficult to transition. I've gotten so many great job offers from like people that I've wanted to work with for so many years that it was really hard to turn that stuff down. So for the last 15 years, I was out with Lyle Lovett, and I have a 3-year-old little girl at home now, and so I couldn't go out and do the full on touring thing as much, and so now I'm just doing the solo thing, and I'm able to bring my family with me a lot more, and able to kind of be in charge of my own schedule a lot more. It's like I can do a couple of weekends a month as opposed to going out for 2 months.
Sure.
So yeah, it's great.
It's beautiful how life can, ebb and flow and take its turns. Now with a young baby and time to focus on your own music, and maybe even more inspiration from from that place in life, right?
For sure, absolutely. Yeah, it's really a beautiful thing. It's like it's a whole new thing. It's definitely given me a different perspective on touring. Being gone, I want to be home a lot more than I used to. Just to feel that pull to want to be there. But that's great. That's a good thing.
So is home still in Nashville for you? I
moved from Nashville down to Austin almost 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been down in Austin for a little while. I was in Nashville for 20 years, and it was great. It's it's still a wonderful place, and there's so many great musicians there, and the community there is really great. I mean, there's the commercial scene, which is what it is, and then there's there's a whole lot of more depth to it than just that. So there's there's still, you can go to the Station Inn and see whatever bluegrass, somebody you probably recognize, a name or whatever, but always great music. And I miss it a little bit, but Austin is a great place for live music too. But
totally.
Now I like that I'm at the point where I can kind of, I could live pretty much wherever and be able to go out and tour.
Yeah.
But living in Nashville was it was critical for my getting introduced to the scene and getting around people, getting to play with my heroes.
Yeah, before, just a couple weeks ago, Rachel Bayman, who is also living in Nashville, we were talking about it, and I've yet to go, and I really, really want to visit, but she was talking about, again, just kind of community of people. She was like, I can create my all-star dream team, you know, of people on every different track that I want to do while I'm there. And I just find that so interesting.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's grown so much in the last 25 years. I moved down there in February of 99 in the late 1900s.
Wow.
Moved to Nashville. And it felt like a different city, but the depth was still there. And all those people are still there, you know, getting to meet and getting to know and pick with, folks like on the Grand Ole Opry with Ricky, you know, a lot of bluegrass folks, the Osborne brothers and Stanley brothers and Ralph Stanley, and playing those festivals, playing with Jim Lauderdale, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really great. Yeah, I wouldn't have got to be a part of that scene if I hadn't gone to Nashville at that time. You know, but it is nice being able to kind of travel from where I need to now. You know? Yeah.
Do you feel like it's changed a lot since when you were first there in Nashville?
Yeah, I do. As far as the city and the room and it's grown. It's just really grown. Yeah. And it's like Austin, same thing. You know, it's really grown. But but I feel like it's really rich, and it's really, there's such a depth of talent there, and you know, I mean, the community that's digging into good songs and really good songwriting, and that kind of like the next generation kind of taking that mantle. You know, it's really important, and from what I can tell, it seems to be happening really well there.
Oh, I love that. And I'm so grateful for that. I really feel that there's another, you know, music, life, everything, it kind of goes through its phases, you know, and I feel like we're entering back into a phase that's favoring songwriting and story and
I hope so.
And melody and the harmony. I'm feeling that. Well, Luke, it's such an honor and a pleasure to have you here in Stone Cottage.
Thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate being here. This is really cool.
Love. And thank you to everyone who is tuning into Stone Cottage Studios and supporting us by liking and subscribing and allowing us to continue to grow this community and really just try and bring more live music to you folks. So thank you very much, and take care, Luke.
Thank you.